Jimmy Kimmel never hesitates to remind Trump of his actual position. He recognizes that Trump is delusional and has no qualms about exposing this truth to the world.
The United States took time out of his busy schedule Googling Ivanka in bikini to rant about me, but he must not get how much I love this. It doesn't even add up. Either Feeble Knievel doesn't know that Al Pacino and I are different guys, or he didn't actually watch the Oscars he claims to have hated so much. He got everything wrong, and we know he didn't forget because, according to his top aides, he has an
It is widely recognized that Trump poses a significant threat to democracy due to his arrogance, ignorance, and self-centeredness. Recently, Kimmel called out Trump, and Trump's reaction was quite surprising. In his latest post on Truth Social, Trump attempted to roast Kimmel by criticizing his hosting skills at the 2024 Oscars, thinking he was being humorous.
I was wondering if I could share it with you. I just got a review, and has there ever been a worse host than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars? His opening was that of a less-than-average person trying too hard to be something which he is not and never can.
Kimmel refused to let this slide and fought back against Trump's destructive and self-absorbed presence in American politics, determined to restore the country to its former greatness.
Kimmel, and perhaps replace him with another washed-up but cheap ABC talent, George Slopanopoulos. He would make everybody on stage look bigger, stronger, and more glamorous, blah, blah, blah. Make America.
That he is self-centered and lacks concern for others. Trump's repeated criticisms of Kimmel demonstrate his insecurity and cruelty. Kimmel derided Trump by pointing out his egocentricity and disregard for anyone else. Trump's ongoing assaults on Kimmel are evidence of his pettiness and lack of maturity.
If you can guess which former president just posted that on Truth Social. Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still. Isn't it past your jail time?
During a recent episode of his late-night talk show, Jimmy Kimmel suggested that President Trump may be deeply affected by a particular joke that was made at his expense during the 2017 Oscar ceremony. Despite facing 34 criminal charges and numerous other issues, Trump continues to dwell on the joke, according to Kimmel. This implies that the joke may have hit a nerve with the president. The incident in question occurred when host Jimmy Kimmel made a joke about Trump's Twitter habits, saying that the president would likely be tweeting about the ceremony in the early hours of the morning. This appeared to be a reference to Trump's tendency to tweet about perceived slights and criticisms, often in the middle of the night. While the joke may have seemed harmless enough, it seems to have stuck with Trump, who has continued to bring it up in various contexts. This suggests that the joke may have touched on a sore spot for the president, perhaps highlighting his insecurity about his social media presence or his public image more generally. Despite the fact that the Oscars incident occurred several years ago, it still seems to be a source of irritation for Trump. This raises questions about the president's ability to let go of perceived slights and move on from past incidents. It also suggests that Trump may be particularly sensitive to criticism and mockery, even when it is delivered in a relatively lighthearted way. Overall, Kimmel's comments highlight the ongoing fascination with Trump's personality and the ways in which he responds to perceived attacks and insults. Whether or not the joke in question had a significant impact on Trump's psyche, it is clear that it continues to occupy a prominent place in his mind, even as he faces numerous other challenges and controversies.
Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still. Isn't it past your jail time?
The ongoing feud between late-night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel and former President Donald Trump has been well documented and dates back to 2015. At that time, Trump appeared on Kimmel's show as a guest before he became the Republican nominee for the 2016 presidential election. During their conversation, Trump discussed his plans to unite the Republican Party and took a few jabs at his then opponent, Jeb Bush, who was also running for president. However, the most memorable moment of the interview came when Kimmel presented a humorous children's book titled Winners Aren't Losers, which poked fun at Trump's campaign slogans and his tendency to use superlatives to describe himself and his accomplishments. The book featured illustrations of cartoon children, with one page reading, "The winners of the world are the children who always try. The losers are the adults who never ask themselves why." Kimmel jokingly compared winners to Trump and losers to, well, losers, causing Trump to laugh along with the audience. Despite the lighthearted tone of their initial conversation, things took a more serious turn in 2017 when Kimmel addressed Trump's proposed changes to the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. At the time, time, Kimmel's son had been born with a rare heart condition that required multiple surgeries to correct. Kimmel became emotional as he spoke about his family's struggles, and he used his platform to advocate for access to affordable health care for all Americans, regardless of their income or pre-existing conditions. The feud between Kimmel and Trump continued throughout Trump's presidency, with Kimmel frequently using his show to criticize Trump's policies and actions. Trump, in turn, often took to Twitter to insult Kimmel and other late-night hosts who dared to criticize him. Despite their differences, Kimmel has continued to use his platform to advocate for important causes such as healthcare and gun control, while Trump has largely retreated from the public eye since leaving office in January 2021.
I'm still smarting from my joke about him at the Oscars. You know, Donald Trump is in the first week of a criminal trial, the first president to be on trial for a criminal offense for paying hush money to a pornographic film star.
Kimmel once spoke about his son's health issues and how Obamacare helped people like him get insurance. He even joked on his show that Trump would sign any bill to repeal Obamacare without knowing what it contained. Kimmel expressed his gratitude to Senator John McCain for opposing the changes. In 2018, Kimmel created a parody movie trailer that ridiculed Trump's National Alert System proposal. The trailer showed a family receiving messages on their phones that they believed to be Trump's tweets, but were actually emergency texts from the government. The messages caused panic and chaos, with one man even cutting off his hand to remove his smartwatch. Amidst the chaos, Jimmy Kimmel's trailer exposed how absurd Trump's leadership could be. Kimmel openly condemned Trump's response to the tragic mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in 2018, where 17 innocent lives were taken. In an emotional speech, Kimmel called out Trump for not taking action, pleading for the safety of children. He couldn't fathom why there wasn't even a discussion about it. Kimmel cleverly turned the argument around on Trump and other Republicans who blamed mental health for gun violence, agreeing with them and stating that if they don't believe in taking action, they're the ones who are mentally ill. Kimmel's frustration with Trump's inaction on such a significant issue was evident in his powerful words. Even after Trump left the White House in 2021, Kimmel continued to poke fun at his campaign trail speeches and legal issues. It seems like Kimmel's constant teasing may have irked Trump while he was in the White House last year. According to Rolling Stone, two former officials of Trump's administration confirmed that Trump instructed his staff to file complaints against Disney, ABC's parent company, about Jimmy Kimmel's jokes on Jimmy Kimmel Live during his presidency in 2018. Trump was apparently furious about Kimmel's jokes and even called Disney twice to complain about him. This incident shows Trump's inability to handle criticism, even from a late-night comedian. Kimmel is concerned about Trump's impact on democracy and his behavior both during and after his presidency. Kimmel has been vocal about this issue because Trump often attacks the media, calling them fake news when he disagrees with them. This creates a problem because a free press is crucial for democracy to function properly. Additionally, Trump's divisive rhetoric on topics such as race and immigration is not helping to unite people, but instead is deepening existing divisions. This, in turn, is making it difficult for people to trust the government. Finally, Trump's actions during his presidency have not always been ethical. The principles of democracy dictate that we should recall when Trump baselessly claimed that the 2020 election was fraudulent. This is dangerous because it leads people to question the legitimacy of the entire voting process, which is a crucial aspect of democracy. Additionally, we must not ignore Trump's approach to the law. He attempts to influence judges and courts even when they don't support him. This goes against the principles of fairness that are fundamental to democracy. Lastly, Kimmel is concerned about Trump's behavior. Trump is known to act impulsively and become very angry when he is criticized. This is not the kind of person who should be making important decisions, especially given the vast amount of power they possess. Kimmel's critique of Trump stems from a genuine concern about how his words and actions could harm democracy and whether he is qualified to lead the country. We do not want Trump to be re-elected and further endanger democracy.
An echocardiogram, which is a sonogram of the heart, and found that Billy was born with a heart disease.
It is incumbent upon each of us to remain knowledgeable, vocalize our opinions, and safeguard the principles that bolster our democratic system. For additional perspectives and examination of political affairs, explore further.